Well, it was really challenging, you know. As a father, all he did after retirement was farming. So we always going to the farm, especially on Saturdays and most times on Sundays. Life was, I wouldn't say living hell, no. It was an upbringing that has really assisted me as a young man to be strong, to be focused, and to be dedicated. When that was my days at the Polytechnic. I was a student union director of transport in my early days, where I had to, you know, in my time at school at the Polytechnic, we never had hostel accommodation inside the campus. So the hostel accommodation was off campus, and students had to, you know, enter either bike, Okada, or bus to school. So the issue of trying to adjust the transport fare so as to be able to, so that other students, mostly people from my kind of background, from the poorest of the poor, can at least cope. So for that reason, I was tutored. I read a lot of books on activism, and I was like, because of my father too, he's someone that believes strictly in assisting people of his level. That was how I got into politics, to help my people, to be able to speak for them. So those who are very much less privileged, because they have at least the opportunity to ride to school. Because then I discovered that there was this particular student, I've forgotten his name now, from our ND days, first semester till the end of the semester, he never entered a bus or a bike to school. The reason is simple: there was no cash. So he was always trekking. So what I now did, when God answered my prayers and I went there to transport, I took him to the park. I introduced him to the bus drivers. And being the director of transport of the institution, of the student union, I told them that he is my personal assistant on transport activities. So that was when that guy, who is his name, is from the central, though I've lost his contact now, because he didn't come back for his Shende. So that was when the guy started enjoying riding to school and going back. Since then, I picked interest, and I said, these are the kind of people I need to assist in the society. Well, the way I was brought up and my active participation on campus politics, it's all about the people. It's all about the welfare and the interests of the people. You know, even before I came back from my HND and became the student union president, I saw another phase of leadership and governance. I started having meetings with the management of the institution, which I never knew in my early days because I was the director of transport. And this issue of Presido, now like this they do more, not like this they do more. That was when I started seeing it. I was not like, no, madam, she's still very much alive. She saw me as, at a point she said I was a threat to her. Her name is Dr. Mrs. Stella Mogeku. Was the director, data superintendent of Washuku then. He said, Francis, the student union president that came before you didn't behave like this. So you must work according to the rules. And I said, madam, that is those that came before me. This is Francis. I am here to serve the interests of the students. If this thing is not favorable for students, forget about it. It won't work. I was threatened, but guess what? I graduated as the best student in my department, despite the whole threat. What I wanted for the students came to manifestation. My certificate, I still got. So it means if you are dedicated to do what is right for the people, nature has a way of protecting you. God has a way of guiding you. Early 2001, I was still a very little child then. My father was actively in politics as the secretary of the People's Democratic Party Ward 2 on Uchubu. That's my community. And he had this orientation that leadership and politics is about the people. It's about the welfare of the people. There were very few then, very few, because most times I attend their meetings, because I used to be very close to him while he was alive. Wherever he goes, he takes me along. So I knew everything that was happening then, though as a child. But I still have memory of some that happened. It was like, if this is what the people want, that is what must stand. Then there wasn't this idea of money in politics. They were strictly interested in who can deliver. They were interested in who can make the people happy. They were interested in supporting somebody that they will be proud of, that yes, I supported this man. It was all about integrity. It was all about performance. It was all about the dedication to duty. It was all about the people. Since then, I developed interest. That was the orientation I had before entering campus politics, and it assisted me. Though there were some threats along the line, trying to mortgage the interests of my people. But because of the foundation, because of the advice and what I saw my father did, I refused, and I never regretted it. Sometime in 2013, late 2013, first quarter of 2014, as a student union president of Delta State Polytechnic of Ogwashuku, I was privileged to attend some meetings. One was called upon by the then Special Assistant to the Governor, Student Affairs. Same as Comrade Iwedike. The meeting was at the government house, old government house now, not the new government house. And we were there when the then governor came in, His Excellency Dr. Iwedike. And we were strictly warned to absent or to avoid a particular governorship aspirant who happens to be the senator representing Delta North. And because of my background, because of my upbringing, I was forced to ask a question: why should I, as a person, avoid someone that is representing me? What is the issue? There was no answer. To me, I was like, this must be something born out of hatred. And secondly, because of how my father lived, because all the while my father, it was just attack, because he wanted the right thing. So my mind told me, so it means there's something good about this guy, but they don't want him. And the person in question is Senator Dr. Aniocha North. I said, for this reason, I'll support this man till the end. And I started mobilizing my students of Ogwashuku Polytechnic. We were so dedicated. They never gave us money. I was looking for ways, raising money from students, from the little I was able to access as student union president, always organizing meetings, making our students to see reason why they should support Senator Dr. Aniocha North. I was not a delegate then, But we were so passionate about it. We were so busy canvassing, praying for him. So something that happened. Okowa won the primaries. I was very happy. I celebrated a very big party on campus. As at this time, I've never met Dr. Okowa one-on-one, but I was just interested in whatever that concerns him because of what I had, the feeling I had based on what Udaga told us then. As God may have it, we went for his declaration 20th of October 2014, and Dr. Okowa, then senator, was marveled. He was shocked, and he said he made a promise that for the students that came in their numbers, that he won't forget us. So during our convocation on the 12th of October 2019, that about 5 years after, that was the first year of his second term. That was the first time I had the opportunity to see him one-on-one. And I reminded him, I said, Oga, you made a promise that we are those people that did this and this and this for you against the government of that day. I was the person that did that. That was when he now stood up during his closing remark. And there on the spot, he pronounced me his special assistant, student affairs. So being someone that got into the system on a very solid foundation of standing for what I believe in, it will be very improper for me to come into the system and start fighting where I came from. It's not part of me. I've always, from the very beginning, as a child, loved to assist the less privileged in the society, especially people that had my kind of background, from the very low background. My father was a community service person, and I copied that from him, and I've always wanted to serve the people, to protect their interests, because I know I cannot make them happy if I don't have what it takes, or I'm not on that corridor. I see those who say one thing and do another when they get to office as abnormal human beings. I am not an abnormal person. I'm a normal person. And as a student union leader, before I got into office as SSG president, I made promise to my students that their interests must be protected. So when I got the office, even when the then management was trying to tell me this is how we do it, I told them, with all due respect, this is how it has to be done, because this is how my students want it. So that has been my style. It has been my life. Most times, those people who say A and do B, I marvel at how they think and how they're able to sleep at night. I'm someone that I want to sleep in my house at night peacefully, knowing that I've made my people happy. I don't want to be among those who will hear one sound of a cricket, and they will start reading meanings to it. There is one reason why I wouldn't be part of those who will say A and do B, because I'm a product of the streets. I'm not from a rich home, so I know what it takes to be poor. I understand what it means to be poor. And in my days at school, as a director of transport in my national diploma days, before I came up with HND and became SSG president, there was this classmate of mine, Ovie by name. He trekked all our first semester from Monday, most times to do lectures on Sundays. He was always trekking to school. No money to even enter a bike. Most times I used to ask him, how do you even feed? But something happened. I was like, if I have an opportunity, I should be able to do something for this young man. And by the grace of God, I became the Senior Union Director of Transport in charge of transport activities on campus. Automatically, I made Ovie my personal assistant. And that was when Ovie started enjoying free ride to and from campus. So that's the kind of life I live. There are a lot of Ovies in this Aniocha North. A good number of them. So I believe when such opportunities come for us to get to the house, which I know that by the mercies and grace of God, it will come. A lot of our youth on the streets, we have reasons to say thank you, Abba Father. You know, I've always had this belief that what is mine is mine. What is not mine is not mine. By the grace of God, if the delegates give me their votes, which I know they will, because they understand I speak their language. They understand I'm going there for their interests. They understand I'm going there for the interest of their kids, for those that have children. They understand I'm going there for the interest of their younger ones, for those that have younger brothers. Definitely, if they give me their mandate, which I know they will, as a comrade that I am, a well-grounded comrade for that matter, I know my mandate can never be stolen. It's not possible. It's not because I am the governor's son, no. It's not because I'm the son of the president, no. But I know there's one man I have, which is the Almighty God. I know He will never allow my mandate to be stolen. My passionate appeal is to the delegates to please give me their mandate, and they will never regret it. One of the major challenges is the disunity in the local government. You know, this cartel thing, this cabal thing is sickening. Is actually dividing us instead of uniting us. So my going in, first and foremost, is to bring everybody together, because united will stand and divided will fall. I just pray for an opportunity to bring our leaders, our brothers, everybody together. They know that I'm a product of the street as well. I am them, they are me. I understand their language, they understand my language. So it's very easy for them to flow with me, and it's very easy for me to flow with them. All they need, because due to the disunity in the system, those on the street are scared of our leaders. But if I step in by the mercies and grace of God, telling them that this is the position of things and being part of them and being one of them, it will be easier for us to agree and work together as a team. Well, what you said now played out sometime 2014. You know, there was this information that went viral that who the people wanted that won the primary election didn't get the ticket of the party. For that reason, the people became aggressive, they became rebellious, and they fought against the party to the extent that the INEC pronounced an accord candidate as the winner of the elections. Not as if our people doesn't believe in PDP, but because they were aggrieved. And there was a meeting on the 4th of February 2022 called by Professor Sylvester Morning, MFR, where he tendered an unreserved apology on behalf of the leadership of PDP in Aniocha North that the event of 2014 would never repeat itself again, because that what transpired actually made a lot of people to start running away from the party. You know, our people naturally, once they sense any atom of injustice is over, they run away from the party. So when he tendered that apology, which I was a signatory to the communique that was issued, I read through, and to just apology upon apology upon apologies, which I believe we took to the street because our people still have that kind of fear, that hope, not after you have won the field, someone else will be announced. I told them that our leaders have promised, and I told them that God that we serve is still alive, that it will allow such to repeat itself again, because the people of Aniocha North are interested in persons. To the delegates, I'll address first. I've interfaced with a good number of them, and funny enough, like I usually tell them, you're not different from me, I'm not different from you. You know the challenges you're facing. You're not the very rich that doesn't know what's happening. So this is the time for you to protect what you believe in, where you come from, one of your own. I am one of your own. And we know that 90% of the voters in Aniocha North are from my class. The very, very well-renowned elites, most of them don't even have PVC. Talk more of their kids who are schooling abroad. So this is not the time for you to say, our leader said. No. This is time for you to say, this is what we want. Though money politics is one of the things that affects our people, but I still reminded them. I said, even the money you collected as a delegate just to vote someone 4 years ago, how far that money assisted? 100,000 naira 4 years ago is like 5,000 naira today. So it means the country is going from bad to worst because of the kind of the money you're collecting from people. But this time around, they have made a promise that money will fail, that capacity to deliver and the interest of the people will succeed. And I believe God that they are right. And I strongly believe And I have that conviction that it will come to pass. Yeah, what you just said now is, every human born in Nigeria has a fundamental human right. Because my father, for example, was in PDP in his lifetime, doesn't mean being in PDP is a crime or an offense. That my father is a governor or a senator and he wants me to succeed him or her before the law is not a crime. What is a crime is you bringing either your son or your daughter who does not have the capacity to deliver, who does not understand the language of the people. A lot of the elites, most of their kids never grew up here in this part of the world. Most of them don't even understand their own language. If you don't understand the language of the people, obviously you don't even know their problems. Talk more of their challenges. The one I condemn strongly are those who are trying to impose their children, mostly their kids that they know that the people cannot access. Governance is all about accessibility. It's all about dispensing quality leadership to the people. If you are not accessible, how will you get information about what's happening in your environment? It's not possible. That is what I'm against. Youth to Clock is about the older generation giving way for the younger brains to step in. Nigeria of 10 years ago is not the Nigeria of 2022. Please, that is our appeal, and that's what Youth to Clock stands for.